National Weather Service in Raleigh. It's Nick Petro with your routine Monday morning weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. Covering today, the 20th of July through Sunday, the 26th. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a fair amount going on right now. I'm going to try to zoom in and show you a few things. First off, well, let's zoom out here because sometimes this is very helpful to see the big picture, what's going on. This is visible satellite image, and temperatures, and you can kind of see well, let me zoom in here a little bit closer. A couple things I'll point out. The numbers in the background there are dew points, and here's temperatures, but we'll use dew points as a gauge. And let me see if I can draw on here. This is actually a front, and you can see how much drier these numbers are lower. So lower numbers north of the front, more higher numbers south of the front. And these are dew point values. But that boundary is kind of stretched right across North Carolina, unfortunately. And why I say unfortunately is because that sets up basically a focus for showers and thunderstorms to form. And, while everybody and everywhere hasn't seen shower and thunderstorm activity over the last couple of days, a lot of places have. And there's been tons of lightning, some wind damage, some flooding. And unfortunately, this boundary is in really no hurry to go anywhere until, oops, I didn't mean to draw that. I'm actually trying to turn it off. There we go. Until another boundary, which is up here, moves south and kind of pushes everything out of the way. So that's going to take a little while. Of course, we've got TD number 2 down here, and that is expected to basically move westward. So that's not going to be an issue for us. What else? Yeah, so that's pretty much what we've got going on. Temperature-wise, again, you can see this front, which is, you can see it easily because of this cloud band here and the showers and thunderstorms along it. Look how much cooler it is here versus hot it is down here. So classic setup for dividing line between cooler to the north, warmer to the south, and we're right in the middle. And it's the collision of these two air masses that causes the shower and thunderstorm activity that's going to be in our forecast here for the next couple of days, unfortunately, until the next system just sweeps it all out. There is a slight risk today, tomorrow, Wednesday, for severe thunderstorms, level 2 of 5, damaging wind gusts, the primary threat. There's also a risk of excessive rain and flash flooding across central North Carolina through midweek. The highest chances today and Wednesday for that flooding. 1 to 2 inches per hour, that's the rate, is possible in these heavier downpours, where some places could even see, 2 to 4 inches of total rainfall. Eventually, that will all shift eastward as we head each day through the week. By late in the week, most of that activity will be east of I-95, where many inches of rain are expected across the coastal sections through this week. The summer heat will continue through most of the week. Some relief is possible late in the week and weekend. So we'll see if that comes to pass. But anyway, we need to get through a couple days of shower and thunderstorm activity. Here's a forecast basically of expected rainfall amounts, and you can see, when you see it kind of splotchy like you see in the upper left, that basically just means it's kind of hit or miss. There's no guarantee, you're going to see that 1.5 to 2 inches over Raleigh as painted on this picture. That could be a little further north, south, east, or west. It could be, but the bottom line is somebody in central North Carolina is going to see 1.5 to 2 inches of rain today, with the better chances east of I-95. Okay, and then that rain, kind of the heaviest rain, lifts to the north tomorrow, and then right back over us for Wednesday. particularly heaviest across northeast part of the state. And then it kind of stalls out along the coast Thursday and Friday. Look at those 5-day totals. That should really put a big dent into the drought if we do see rainfall values that high. Um, I kind of wish that was a little bit further west to fill up places like Falls Lake that could use that kind of rainfall to fill up that lake. But unfortunately, it's going to be east of Falls, downstream in the basin of Falls Lake, um, for those 5-day totals. But well, again, pretty much the whole state's in some aspect of drought, so we'll take whatever we can get. What about the heat? So again, not the reds and purples that we've had, last week and the week before, but still moderate to major. Major means affects anyone without effective cooling or adequate hydration. So of the heat risk, the further you go south today, the higher that heat risk will be. Here's that severe thunderstorm potential. And you'll notice we're level 2 of 5 the next 3 days. As you go a little bit further south towards the South Carolina border, it's more of a level 1 of 5, but suffice it to say, damaging wind gusts will be possible anywhere across central North Carolina the next couple of days. This is the excessive rainfall outlook, and there is a risk of excessive rain and flash flooding across central North Carolina through the middle of the week, with the highest chances today and Wednesday. So again, there could be pockets of 2 to 4 inch total rainfall. And remember, it's not always how much rain that falls that results in flash flooding. Oftentimes it's how heavy the rain falls. So if you get into those 1 to 2 inch per hour rates, that's oftentimes what sets the stage for flash flooding. If you can get 2 to 4 inches of rain over several hours, then that's less likely to result in flash flooding compared to 2 inches over 1 hour. So again, rates oftentimes drive flash flooding. And just remember, remind yourself and tell your friends and family and coworkers, whenever you encounter flooded roads, turn around, don't drown. Even if it looks like you can get across it, oftentimes you don't know what the condition of the road is underneath the water. So turn around, don't drown. All right, as we head to the 8 to 14 day outlook, above normal temperatures, above normal precip, highest likelihood for above normal precip closer to the coast. So kind of more of the same. All right, what about the tropics? There's TD2. Let's see, and of course that little cutout there shows that it's expected to basically drift west. So that all the rain we're getting today, tomorrow, Wednesday, later in the week closer to the coast has nothing to do with this system. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Totally independent. We'd get this rain that we're expecting whether 2 was there or not. Okay, so totally independent of this system. The drought update. Well, let's see here. We can, again, I wish those higher amounts were further west than the deep maroon red color that you see there, but maybe we can get some more relief for some of the D3 and D4. We'll take anything we can get, I suppose, at this point. As we look at the graphical hazardous weather outlook, you can see what are our hazards this week. Severe thunderstorms the next 3 days, damaging winds, the primary hazard with those severe thunderstorms, lightning pretty much all this week. I'll tell you what, I was outside last evening and there was some pretty impressive lightning. I'm telling you, don't forget that lightning can kill people after the rain has ended and the storm is moving away. We were walking basically to our car, and I was looking up at the sky and I was like, man, the rain stopped, but the storm's still too close. It's still really close. And sure enough, just as I was thinking that, boom, a lightning struck real close to where I was at. So even though the rain ends and the storm looks like it's exiting, don't forget that lightning can reach back to where the rain had just ended. So always give yourself at least 30 minutes before you resume outdoor activities. 30 minutes after the storm is over. Okay, excessive rainfall, that's a risk pretty much every day this week. Extreme heat, remember majors today, Tuesday and Wednesday, particularly south of Raleigh. So pretty busy week. All right, so just be careful out there. All right, let's wrap it up here. Several days of unsettled weather in store for central North Carolina. Best chance for rain and storms will shift east of I-95 late in the week, and maybe some relief to the heat late in the week and weekend. Remember those hazards. There's a level 2 of 5 risk for severe storms, mostly wind, the next 3 days. There's also a risk of excessive rain and flash flooding across central North Carolina right through midweek. Highest chances today and Wednesday. Again, watch out for those heavy rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. That's when flash flooding is most likely. And when you add up how much rain falls, probably we might see 2 to 4 inches in some spots. So again, just be careful of that flash flooding. All right. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up our weekly briefing for Central North Carolina this Monday, the 20th of July.